Hey guys, this is my Baltimore Ravens talks. This is a series I'm going to be doing where typically I'm going to try and do it weekly, but I'm going to talk about all the latest news about the Ravens and maybe some rumors. If you guys like this, please comment down below and tell me if you like it. Tell me any new ideas you want. I apologize for not uploading recently, but I'll try to make that a more common thing. And without further ado, let's get into it. So, first order of business, we're going to be talking about the Ravens wide receiver situation. We got a lot of young guys on the roster currently, featuring Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, James Proche, Tylan Wallace. But some people have been arguing that the Ravens might need a veteran presence in that wide receiver room. So I'm going to tell you guys my opinion on what I think, and if so, I'm going to tell you who I want them to sign. So first start off with Rashad Bateman, new wide receiver. He's a rookie last year. He had that injury. He pulled his groin, I think, and he had to get surgery, and he missed a couple of the first weeks of the season. He looked good. He showed some flashes. He's been working out with Lamar, trying to get their chemistry up. I'm expecting big things from Rashad Bateman this year. Next, Devin Duvernay. He's in his third year. He hasn't had a huge role, but he has showed flashes a couple times. Could be a very good player for the Ravens this year, getting a bigger chance. James Proche and Tylan Wallace, they both haven't really gotten their shot much in the yet on the team, but this year they could see more action, especially since Hollywood Brown was recently traded away. Now, some people saying that the Ravens should sign a wide receiver. They would. Here's some people they might say that they should. I think this is for. I think this is for the veteran presence in the wide receiver room. Got a lot of young guys here. Even the backups of these four, Benjamin Victor, he's only his second year, and then they got those undrafted free agents. So not a lot of experience here. So I think they will probably need a veteran wide receiver to come in and help. One of those players could be Julio Jones. I can't really think of a better player to mentor Rashad Bateman. Yes, he has dealt with some injuries, especially last year. He wasn't really productive, but if you want Rashad to develop into that true number one receiver, there's not a better guy that you could get to mentor him into that role. You can't really lean on Julio to be your number one guy for this year. You got to expect or not be disappointed if he gets injured. That should be the expectation, because you don't want to be disappointed if he does. He has been dealing with a lot of injuries, and Rashad will have to step up, but Julio will definitely help. Will Fuller could be another guy the Ravens could look after. He could replace Hollywood Brown as the team's speedster receiver. Definitely a big, deep threat. He wouldn't be as good of a mentor to Rashad Bateman as Julio would be, but he certainly would add some value to this team. Again, injuries are a pretty big concern for him. You gotta worry about that, but he still could do something in the passing game for the Ravens. Next person you could trade for, again, trading for people, I don't expect that the Ravens will trade for people or trade for players like DK Metcalf in my next example, but I do think this would definitely be a good way to go, but the likelihood of it happening isn't very good. DK Metcalf, again, a player they could target. He's a very big-bodied receiver, and I would hands down love this if that happened, but again, not very likely. Another player that could, Deebo Samuel. He's kind of like the role Devin Duvernay is playing. He's a gadget player. He can play out of the backfield, but I don't think he will be on this team next year either. Next, we're going to move to another portion of our discussion, the Ravens secondary. You got all of these guys currently as starters: Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Peters, and Marlon Humphrey. But you got to worry about depth a little bit, especially at the corner position. Safety, I think you're good at depth. Mainly corner, you might need to worry about depth here. You did do something to address it in the draft by drafting Jalen Armour-Davis and Demarion Williams, but that hasn't fully covered it. And those two are still rookies, so you don't know if they're going to boom or bust, or you don't know if they're going to be good or bad, or if they're comfortable with the system. So you do want a veteran to be in the room, or at least someone who's been with the team before. A couple of free agents that you could sign: Kyle Fuller, a good veteran player, might not get the best production out of him, but certainly wouldn't hurt to be in that room. You could move him to outside and then move Marlon Humphrey to the slot. Kevin King, kind of same deal, but would definitely provide some depth in that room, that quarterback room. For what I think the Ravens should do, you know how they drafted Brandon Stevens last year. He saw a limited role at safety. He did step in the spotlight when Deshaun Elliott got injured. But I think the Ravens should move him back to corner, and he can act as your slot corner. He's not going to see much of a role at safety, especially with Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams here. But he could be a good slot corner and a good reliable slot corner for you if you moved him to slot corner. Another topic that a lot of Ravens fans have been talking about is Chuck Clark. What's the deal with him? Because a couple of weeks ago he actually came out with this tweet. It's basically saying this can either go two ways, up or down. So what a lot of people summarized from that, or predicted from that, was that Chuck Clark is not happy, and he wants to leave the Ravens. And I think it is a very real possibility that Chuck Clark could leave the Ravens, especially since they drafted Kyle Hamilton. I would not be surprised if he stayed or if he left. I think ultimately, though, what's going to happen is he will leave. A couple of weeks ago, there was something that was saying that the Ravens reportedly tried to trade Chuck Clark for Jalen Reagor. That deal fell through, but just goes to show you that he might not be on this team for very long. Last topic, kind of a sad topic, but Sam Koch announces his retirement today. I think the Ravens knew this before the draft because they drafted Jordan Stout in the 4th round, which is a fairly early round for a punter. Sam Koch will be staying on as the staff. I think he's an assistant special teams coach or something like that. But he will be there to mentor Jordan Stout along the way and help him develop. But yes, very, very sad news. He's one of the veterans of this team. He played for, I think, 16 years for the Ravens. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you like it, please share it to your friends, like or subscribe. And please, again, comment down below if you have any other video ideas. I'm going to try to do another one of these Raven Talks again next week if I have the chance to. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.